Well, hello everyone, I'm Poison, and welcome to a solo adventure of Astroneer. I do have a couple mods, and if I was prepared for life, I'd have them up on the screen right now. They're not really game breaking, they're a little bit changing. You can craft the small RTG, the QT RTG, a backpack crafter. I forgot exactly what they were, but they're not like the rocket launcher or anything like that. So I wanted to just stream the game. They had a couple updates since I played this last. I hadn't played this for a really long time. A friend and I played multiplayer, and there were some bugs that were making it very difficult, but I guess we'll have to see on the other the other part of this that shows that when me and my other friend play multiplayer, if those bugs continue to happen. So, wow, we landed in the middle of presence everywhere. Or not presence, what are they called? Terrifying a little bit. And then I'll just go through some tips and tricks and things like that as I see them. I'm going to be trying to... How do we do the overlay? To be able to messages. How do we do an overlay on this thing? I'm using kind of a neat Streamlabs desktop, and actually it's really kind of neat. Actually pretty easy to use. I'm just trying to see if there's a way I can put the chat overlaid. Oh, game overlay right there. Okay, enable in-game overlay. Show chat. Recent events. Done. Let's see what that looks like. Currently it looks like nothing. Let's try this again. This is going pretty much according to plan here. Overlay opacity. Oh, okay. So let's do 50%. Well, that's still nothing. Oh yeah, that's right. So one of the other mods is this little heads-up display that I really like. That shows. It's supposed to show which way you're facing and just what planet you're on and some information like that. Somebody said that it shows opposite of the compass. No, they must have fixed it because it's showing 20 degrees north. Let me do. Wait, that's my position. Oh, okay. So up there. Yeah, so up there, I'm looking at the numbers. Up there, it's the actual compass at the very top is inverted, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna putz just a little bit longer, trying to get the chat up. I'm kind of new at streaming, so you'll have to excuse me. I'm gonna putz a little bit longer, trying to get this chat up. Because I want to actually be able to see when people talk. An exclusive for best results for the Windows exclusive. Okay, alright, so alright, so here we go. Display. Windows full screen, yep, that's windowed. What's that? guess I'm just going to hope no one joins right now. Alright, let's get started. If you're new to this game, it's kind of like a survival building game, but the one thing is this blue line right here is an attachment to your oxygen, and your oxygen is this little bar on the back of your person, and so you can actually start to suffocate if you run out of oxygen. So one of the huge things is building tethers. I'll bring up the backpack, and tethers are the first thing that come up, and that uses compound, and that's that gray stuff off in the distance there. So when you come close to something that can attach to tethers, and the important thing is, so this is what's called an RTG. It provides energy. In this case, it provides 1 U a second, which might as well just be called 1 E a second. It provides a little bit of energy, and then there's another thing. Whoops. Oh, that's right. We have to build the oxygenator, and the oxygenator, I think that's one of the missions, will connect to this slot right here. And it will allow this base to connect to tethers, because right now if I set a tether down, which I'll bring up my terrain tool, I will just go whoop. And I found the easiest way, by the way, and the fastest way to harvest minerals is you can find like a flat zone, and you hold oh, I don't have enough soil. Hold on a second, I'm gonna get started on a let's see, this faces this way. I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna get started on a quarry. I usually get started on a, oh, there's a quarry started right here. So give me a second and I will get some sand, or some soil, as it's called, just like that. And this will allow me to actually get down deep into the earth. But now that I've got, oh, I feel like an idiot. I don't have a soil container. Okay, let's just start this game then, I guess. Alright, so I'm gonna get a bunch of this, and I'm collecting organic and compound, which it just dinged, which meant I got compound, and I got organic. Organic is less important, but it turns into gold, so it is pretty. And you can see the earth is denting. I do love the terraforming on this game. So I'm going to pop up my backpack, and I'm going to make some tethers, and I'll show you what a tether is if you've never played this game. And then, and tethers you can set down with T, or you can set them down, if they're in these top two slots, you can use C for the left and V for the right. But if I set down a tether, you'll see that it's red, and it actually doesn't connect at all, otherwise it'd have a blue line. And that's because this needs an oxygenator. An oxygenator is what allows them to connect. So let's take a look at our missions. It says Planetfall, survive landing. Oh, and it gives us an oxygenator and a small printer. I'm kind of, how would you, like, I don't know. I'm not sold on it just giving you a bunch of things. For, you know, all we did was start the game and all of a sudden it gave us an oxygenator. Like, I don't need to look at how to build it or anything like that. So I'm kind of just, and it will continually bother you. There will be a little green line and it'll continue to, you know, show you missions and everything else. I'm not really sold on that, but that's all right. So the other thing that's very important about this game is these slots. And there are slots attached to everything. As you can see, these are small slots, or I guess level 1s. These are level 2 slots. Now this oxygenator, I'm going to pop it up. Everything comes in compacted, and that's actually kind of a really neat idea. That everything comes in a little box, and then you pop it up. Now, you can see these two little red dots on the bottom, because it's a level 2. It takes a level 2 space. I can't attach it to the side. I can, however, build, if I didn't want to have this on the side of here for some whatever reason, I don't know, if solar panel, wind, whatever, I could actually build a platform to put this on, and it would work the same. But I'm just going to put it on here. And then see, this is what I'm saying, it just pops this crap up. And now, when I drop a tether, ta-da, it connects to the tether, and then the tether gets an extension. And after a little while, you run out of range of the tethers, and you have to drop another. A lot of this game is dropping tethers, because up until you get far enough to get both the energy production and oxygen that are small enough to fit on your backpack, you will still need to go everywhere. I can see from looking around, and I'm sorry if I'm looking around too fast. I don't want to cause dizziness or nausea. Like I see that in the distance, and I think that might be, yeah, okay, so that's resin. Oh, this is interesting. This, I didn't know. Ooh, malachite is copper, ceramic. Holy crap, and a research item. I'm actually surprised. This is resin, but you can see that I'm slowly starting to run out of oxygen already. So, I mean, I need to tether all the way to it. There's no two ways about it. And then, so it's equal parts resource gathering, resource gathering, survival, and also there's a research component. When I bring up the tab, these are all the things, excuse me, that, oh, let's see, this is one of the mods. It allows you to actually make the backpack printer as an actual printer. And those are important because this is a small printer. Only the small printer has its own stand that pops up. You can rotate things with C or V as well. And then, and normally this backpack printer, like if I open the small printer, it does not have tethers. And one of the reasons people didn't like that, or whoever made the mod didn't like that, is because, hold on, they like automation. And with some of the robot arms in this game, you can automate things. You can have the robot arm give this materials, and you can tell it when you select it, you can say perpetually make this thing. So it would give materials compound to it, and it would just kick out medium printer after medium printer after medium printer. But since your backpack printer has a bunch of things that these can't make, you can't pump out infinite tethers because there's no way to make a normal printer do that. And so that, let's see, oh, tethers and bytes. And then breathing space. Oh, there's a small canister I was looking for. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'm going to grab that, and that's going to jump up there automatically. But then you can't make automatically some of the things that I can normally make with my backpack. Oxygen filters, canisters, a small generator, beacons, things like that. And some of it's like work lights. If you have the power and you have a large area you're excavating, you know, having it make 10 work lights when you're not next to it is actually very important. But, as I was saying, each one of these costs bytes. So the ones in blue are already researched. The ones in red are the ones in red I don't have enough to research. I don't know if you can see this, but it says 1500 bytes. I wish that was a little bit darker against the background. And the ones in white, like the packager and the leveling block, I have enough to research. I'm not going to do the packager immediately. Small solar, that might not be a bad idea. A lot of these mods, so some people, some people that play this game must be better than me at understanding certain things, because the mods for the terraformer, they're just confusing to me in most cases. I mean, like, I know what a wide mod does and a narrow mod, but I just don't understand why you'd ever make it more narrow. Like, I don't know if you're making sculptures. So the small canister, I'm going to bring up my backpack and I'm going to bring up my thing. The small canister is a really neat thing because what that allows you to do, you saw me walk over, and I'm going to walk back over here, and I'll actually drop a couple tethers on my way. I'm going to walk back over here, and I'm going to show you an interesting thing. So one thing I really like about this game is you can pick, like, you see how this is slightly angled right here that we're looking at right now. And then this is even, you know, more angled down. I want to find a good one. That's way too angled. I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is perfect. If you hold the control button, it will actually carve that angle. Now what you're seeing, oh, there's granite there. What you're seeing is that I've run out of soil. So, granite. I'm trying to think. It's okay though, because I do want to kind of widen this a little bit. So, and yeah, so the canister, as I get soil, as I carve, you see this little bit of white? As I carve, it will actually fill that container with soil. And that becomes especially important later on because you get a soil centrifuge. And a soil centrifuge, I don't know if I want it to go down at this angle actually. I think I want it to go down at a deeper angle. A soil centrifuge allows you to make certain basic resources. Yeah, that's a better angle. There we go. Ooh, whoops. This is one of the difficulties of this game since it is 3D. I literally thought that went right down there, but it did not. So now I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to do this until it makes contact again. I didn't see the drop off. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so a soil centrifuge allows you to make certain basic resources, resin, compound, and all you use is soil. So as soon as, like, I fill this canister, and then I fill, what is it? Oh, granite. I feel like an idiot. I know what granite is. I think we need to go deeper still, actually. Yeah, I want to go, do I want to go deeper still? No, you know what? We're just gonna no, because that is way... See how that... anyway, so it allows you to make those things without having to constantly find and harvest them. Materials are finite, but, like, on a standard planet, there are so many materials that calling them finite is foolhardy. Oh, damn it, I hate it when he does that. So, one of the mechanics is, if you go on an angle and you walk forward and you're going too fast, or you run, because you can hold shift and you can run, he'll do like a neat little slide. Whoa, and that time he'll do like a neat little slide. I'll try to do a little bit better here. See? Boop, like that. But, okay. Yeah, this is riveting gameplay here. But I don't like doing that at the wrong time. Like, okay, we'll start. I don't like doing that at the wrong time, and I don't like doing it when I'm unprepared for it. It just kind of ruins life. Oh, fill a canister with soil. Oh, and see, this is the reason that I was actually digging down, because now we've hit a cavern. I am still going to go ahead and use our angle down because I don't want to fall to my death. There is definitely fall damage in this game, so that is something that you have to take into account. Whoops. Another thing is you see these huge things that are generally in the way, the stalactites and the stalagmites, and you can actually, if you dig out most anything in this game, like this big one I'm looking at right here, let me dig it out so it shifted. You see how it shifted? It will then just vanish over time. And actually, I'm really glad they did that too, because then you don't that stuff, you see how it just disappeared. Then that isn't right in your dang way when you're trying to what happened? One of those fall, or did I just not place this fast enough? You can pick up certain things. You can pick up most things actually in this game, which is also very beneficial because you pretty much hit the ground. And I make this wide because, as I said, he will do his little I'm a skater boy, see you later boy sort of thing, and he will slide, and I mean, as you'll be watching, I will go right off the edge. Like, I know that the end result of this is me face planting and having to go find my body afterwards. I mean, like... Alright, so what we do then is we're just going to carve a bunch, and you can continue to dig even with a filled soil container, as you see. The soil container lights up green, and the soil container doesn't actually have to be attached to your gun, or your terraformer or whatever. I can actually put that just on my backpack, but I like to keep it on my gun because the thing is, anything small, ooh, guess who forgot? Really? Alright, guess who forgot? And I made the bottom too steep, so... See, did you hear that noise? There we go. I know I talk a lot, so you probably didn't hear it much. But, that was me actually starting to suffocate in this game. So, because I had forgotten to be within range of my tethers. And I had gotten myself into a situation where, I couldn't immediately get to my tethers. That's why you saw me drop one and kind of place it by hand. Okay, so we're going to go back over here. Medium storage and medium platform. Oh, that's gathering compound and resin. Okay, landfill is... That's awesome. Okay, one of my cats. Which one is that? That's cans. So, I'll show you what I was talking about when I said earlier that I found a quick way to do this. What you do is just do this, and literally everything you touch is harvested immediately, and it is so much easier than making deep caverns in the ground usually. Except in that case. And then if you go to like a lower one and go around, it'll hit anything it hits. Gathers. And you can actually see there's that little thing on top that says compound natural resource. So like, I know if I keep going here, I'll eventually hit compound because it's showing me. And you can actually do like a subterranean sweep. You don't even have to ruin the ground above you. Just like I did. And this way it doesn't create cavities and holes and things like that. But, now we've got a bunch of compound. What can we make with compound? Oh, we can make a medium printer. Oh, okay, so... Alright, like a moron. You have to connect to power in order for it to... And there's an attachment point on the front and back. You have to actually connect it to the power. And then when you tell it to make it, it'll make it. I can't. So here we go. And then I do like a lot of things about this game. Here is the medium printer. And usually what I do is I pick a side. I think we'll do this side here. And what I'll do is I will set up all three printers on one platform. Let me see if I can actually there's the auto arm. That's the thing that automatically, it's very slow actually, but it automatically grabs resources from one place and brings them to another. So medium platform B. Yep, that is that medium platform B? Provides power, oxygen connected. Is it medium or was it, hold on. Platform B. Oh, I can't remember if it's medium platform B that is big enough for all three printers. No, I think it's large platform B. That requires 3 resin. Yeah, I think it's large platform beast, so I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I did that pretty quick. I flicked this up, and then I hit the green button to tell it that I wanted to research it. And then what I need to do now is get resin, which is... where was it? Oh, there it is over there. So I'm going to drop the tether. And then over a while, if you're... where in the name of crap am I going? if you're... I'm going the wrong direction, I think. My bearings are not good for games like this sometimes. Oh, is that resin that I see peeking out of the ground? I bet you it is. Okay, and resin looks like that. It has an orange. So that's what it looks like without actually gathering it. So what I'm going to do is go down pretty deep, and then we're going to go... We're just going to grab up all the resin we can. Which is not as much as I thought it would be. Must be cheaper. What am I saying? Let's see, otherwise you end up with these pits. And I mean, just later on, when you have vehicles, it's just a pain in the butt that you've just got pits everywhere. Oh, you know what? The resin is right underneath this can. Alright, bring out my backpack. I think I'm gonna move that tether. I think what I'm gonna do is drop. I'm gonna drop. You can just drop resources, like you don't have. They don't despawn after time. So I'm gonna drop a couple resources over here, and then I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna collect that resin, and I need 2 more resin for that medium platform, so I think I'm actually gonna... And as I said, it just, you can see it just, there's just so much resin around here. I do like the fact you can spin the camera. Seriously, Mr. Tether? You just decided to make that trip by yourself, eh? Alright, we're gonna drop that there. Okay. Some of it's pretty deep too, so you have to, you do have to kind of, and most of the time I wouldn't be going straight down, but I saw that there was a, second, I'm gonna do this, it's, covered, because I don't want to fall into that hole later. Really? That's what we're gonna do here now. Okay, well, I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna do this. That's amazing. I can't even begin to tell you how amazing that is. Okay, so just like this. Around here. And like, this is a death trap waiting to happen, which is why I'm fixing it. I think I'll alter that a little bit. And it's just, it's hard to go back to the natural height of the world because it keeps doing things like that. So, what I'm going to do is just do this, make this kind of a concave surface. And I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to do this. And there we go. Alright, that's close enough. That looks like weird. Oh, by the way, the ground is not affected by gravity. So as you saw, there was just that piece kind of hanging up that's what happens. Cannons just I was looking to see anyway. So oh wait, that's right. I think it goes for us. So we'll get a medium storage and a medium. Then it's just that is like a medium platform. And then you can put all those on your back because, as you saw from the bottom of them, let me lift that up and see if you can see it. It's just got one. So you can actually carry, whoops, my brain's full. But you can actually carry a medium printer that's packed onto your back. And then that makes life a lot easier. Okay, medium platform. Oh, as I was saying about the gun, I usually put 2 soils on here. This is also a slot, so I'll put 2 soils and something up here because it's just more inconvenient for me to have to pull crap off my gun than it is off my terraformer than it is to just have something there so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this up, and when I say gun, I mean terraformer, like not the weapon. There's nothing in this game to actually hurt you except for plants, and there's you just dig them up. So this is not a combat game. So this can make a large printer. It can also make, yeah, there's my large platform. I want to do that. And then I am going to pop these both up though because I'm still going to use this. Most of the time what I do is I'll go to the back of the back of my building, and I'll actually plug I'll wait on that, and I'll plug these into the back because you can attach solar and wind turbines to them. So I like the back of my building is where I produce the energy, i.e. the RGG right here, and then the front or the side is where I usually do my building. Right now we're just kind of waiting for that. Excuse me. Oh. Why don't, instead of just sitting around, why don't we come down here and I swear to gosh, here he goes. Whoop. Yep. Alright, so these are pop coral. These are the first thing you run into, and they just explode. And they just, and I don't know if you can actually set them off by walking near them or anything like that. They're just kind of passive. These are the organic underground. If you harvest the mushrooms, you get organic down here. And sometimes it's necessary. I was hoping to see some, wreckage or something in the area, but I don't see any. Sometimes it's necessary to put like a generator down here, and a generator runs on organic. So that's a good way to be able to. I don't see any wreckage, maybe off in the distance. That's a good way to get energy and to get organic. These things here that stick out, you can actually just hold F to scan them, and they give you a certain amount. Or you can put them in a research, and they usually get you more. But you're talking 100. Instead of 30, you get 100, and that's just not worth. I'm uninterested in dealing with that at this time. Oh, who wants to see the pop coral explode? I actually, my friend, when we were playing, did die to these. So, because he was too close. But you just dig down, and this is what you do to all the hazardous plants: is you dig down until you uproot them. And then they pop, just like that. This is also in there. Anywhere, and then they drop seeds, which I am actually going to pick the seeds up, and then they drop this thing, which is another research sample. But the reason that I picked the seeds up and I'm going to plant them up there is that when pop coral grows, it grows a research thing underneath it. So I'm going to come over here where it's just kind of out of my way, and I'll probably never build out here, and then I will plant 2 of these right here. I am going to take that malachite, I'm going to take that ceramic. I'll wait with all that. But like, this is a research item, and this is what the, right there is the resin. I feel like a ding dong. And this is what, not this particular, but this is the research items is what those grow underneath them. And so, beginning game, you can actually either scan the resources you picked up, or you can do things like that. I plant the pop coral, they'll grow, they'll have a large research item underneath them, and I can use that then to get more. It's like a sustainable, because every time they grow, I think they do that. Okay, so this is made the large platform. I'm going to go ahead and unpack it. I'm going to move this. One neat thing about this. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. You come over here. One neat thing about this game that I do really like is that most of the time, I will make this a power center so it looks a little bit better. Most of the time, like, so watch this. In the end, a large printer is going to go right here in the middle. I'm going to rotate them. A large printer is going to go here in the middle. I could just pick this whole thing up with the printer. Like, if I had a large printer, I could include the large printer in this. It's just, it's very funny to me because it's legitimately just like you're just, you know, you've got some incredible, oops, I keep forgetting which button. You've got some incredible strength. You can just lift the whole thing up. And then the next thing is, I think they added a lock. So I'm going to lock that. I'm going to lock these. And what that does is you can't accidentally grab them anymore. And that's very important. If you go to grab organic and you accidentally grab your medium platform, and if I move that and it unplugs, then I've lost all the power and I've got to put it back down and plug it back in, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just easier to lock it. So I do like that. I do like that they locked. Medium storage rover, small canister. I do have 1 resin. Was I waiting on a resin for? You know what? No. I usually start out with 2. Oh crap! I do need resin because I'm on a research center. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna come back over here. And I know you're like, but you literally just repaired that. And yeah, I feel you. What we're gonna do though is I'm gonna just make a small hole. I don't know why it does weird angles sometimes, but I'm just gonna make a small hole because I need 1 resin. Oh, is that a cavern down there? Oh, that's what's going on. That's a cavern. Now, any one of these. There we go. Really? Okay, so what we're going to do is stand here, tempt fate, and I'm going to try to revolve the camera. Can I not? Okay, I was afraid I couldn't do that. Alright, so let's try it this way. Let's see if this is close enough. Oh, that'll work. Okay, so we're going to repair this again. I just need 1 resin for that research. Put this away. I don't know why that's floating, but that's cool. Here is our large printer, and now we have every printer we need. And the large printer initially, that's atrocious. The large printer, let me back up a little bit so you can see what it's doing. Oh, I forgot about that. There we go. The large printer normally initially can only do a shelter. If I wanted to go someplace else on this planet and not have to tether all the way there, I mean, I'd have to anyway, but Then I could drop down a shelter and la-di-da-di-da-di. But, the large printer does things like your shuttles, large rovers, things like that. I saw that this had... Oh, I need 2 compound. Look at that. And I do wanna... Now, wait. The question is the soil... Oh, I don't see the soil thing available. Let me... Yeah, there it is. Medium shredder field shelter. Wait, I think... Okay, smelting furnace soil centrifuge. Blah, blah. So, we are going to do that. And I'm going to grab the smelting furnace, too. We're going to wait on... Oh, I need aluminum. Crap. Okay, alright, so we're going to get a research chamber. Very well. And then aluminum. Yeah, and that's underground. So we're going to be taking a trip underground. And sooner than later, because I also need resin. And the reason that I'm not kind of touching this resin up here... Oh my god, look at some right over there in the hills. I'm going to start dropping tethers. That's not good. The reason that I'm not really touching this resin over here is because you end up getting an auto extractor, but it is so big and bulky that I have to carry it to wherever it goes, and so the closer the better. I see this up in the hills. As soon as I get the soil centrifuge, okay, you know what? We're gonna run up here quickly. And we're just going to get a bunch of... Oh, this is... This is 700. So that's a little bit harder. You can see it's going through it much harder right now. Let me switch back to tethers. Ooh, this is like a game system. Okay. Oh wait, I can fit one more. Oh, there it is. And then we run back down here. And it'll start warning me. It'll start going padoot when it gets closer and closer. Alright. And so anyway, the auto miner goes, I want to put that on top of something close. And it gives you a ton more of the resource than if you mine it by hand. So I want to have that close. And then, oh, there's more resin over there too. And more right here. How did I not see this? I'm bad at eyesight. Ooh, that's perfect. This is a medium solar. And I happen to have a platform open. You find wreckage, and it's like digging for gold. I mean, or panning for gold is a more appropriate thing. Because sometimes you do things like that. And now a medium solar power can produce 4 U per second. And that is just, it's just fantastic. Oh wait, my backpack's full, that's right. That's just fantastic to have early, because I haven't even researched it yet, so it's great when you find things like that. This is the research center, which means now research centers I can usually just make a medium platform, because they don't take a lot of extra stuff. So so what I mean by that is like the smelter, for instance, it can hold 4 items that it's smelting, and it can deposit those items that it's smelted back onto those 4 pedestals. However, if you have it on this large, I'm an idiot. Research center can't go on a medium base. Well, I guess I'll be making a big one for it after all. If you do have it go on a large base, it will take resources and deposit resources off of any empty spots it's got. So I really thought that could go onto medium base. Interesting. Okay, so I did just say there were a dozen resin spots around here. So what I'm going to do is go to this one now. A little bit closer while still being within range. And we're going to do our little trick. And this way it doesn't damage the ground too much. Take a little bit. That's the one thing I was kind of critical of, is you end up acting like a mole because you're under here digging, and if you're not careful, you end up making like that. You see that tunnel that I just made? I mean, that cavern. Like, now I gotta. Otherwise, I'm gonna fall into that in a minute. This one too, but that's okay. Small complaints. It's a fun game. Even here, I'm starting to suffocate actually, so I'll get back here just in time. I'll wrap that for the future. Okay. So we're gonna play it again, Sam. I only have 3 resin. Interesting. Okay. So now this time. Out of the way. Rotate. Whoops, that's the wrong button. I'm gonna put. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm actually gonna put this back here because the research center, aside from throwing things into it occasionally, it doesn't have to be. Whoops. Hit the C button. It doesn't have to be right in your face. I mean, because all you're doing is all you're doing is throwing things at it. And as I said, now see, we've got these extra platforms. I guess I gotta build a large platform A, but that's okay. Now I'll throw that in there, and it'll show 460 of these. This is so tiny to me. Like, I get eye strain trying to read these things sometimes. It'll do 460, and it shows you this is how much power you have. This is when it'll run out of power, and that's when the research time will change. I'll start it, and as long as you've turned it on, it will always activate when you throw something in there. So. But now my research is going up by 24 something or another bytes per whatever. And then I'll just put these on here because they don't matter. Alright, now this, I'm going to spin that. And I'm going to, you know what, let's put it over here. Bumper up. One interesting thing is this little arrow in front tells you which way it faces. Now, you wouldn't think that matters because you can rotate things and whatever, but what I found that does is make it so when I put something on there, it automatically faces that direction. And so that's kind of helpful. Alright, let me see what we need for a smelter. 2 more resin. This seems like the resin day. Resident Evil. Oh, you know what? I'll pick up this TNT while I'm over here. One thing is Rex will give you debris. They are debris, and you can put them in a shredder, and the shredder produces scrap, which you can then wow. Okay then. Which you can then sell on this little rocket. I forgot, trading something or another. And you can get higher types of resources. Now, there was a mod that lets you basically trade anything, but I didn't. Once you've gotten up to where you can actually build the rocket platform, I didn't think that it was necessary to. You've already gotten high enough. Like, all right, now we're making a smelting furnace, and then the next thing we'll be looking for is I'll be going deep underground, and we'll be looking for aluminum, because I need that soil centrifuge. That just makes life easier, because the thing is, you're going to be digging all the time in this game. Digging is just a huge part of it. And so I've got these two things on the side of my gun, and they're permanently full, and I have no use for them right now. And so it would be better to have something I can put them into. And it doesn't actually take, it takes 2 canisters to get whatever you need from the soil centrifuge. So it's actually a really good bargain when you're constantly digging. And there we ran out of power. You see how everything slowed down. And on the little things, they show that you have a little bit of power and you have a bunch of red. Whoops, that's a bit. And then that's when it hit the mark. But that's okay, because this is almost done, and we're not going to have to excuse me, we're not going to have to smelt anything. So, and you see how that automatically faces forward now. I don't have to spin it, I don't have to dig with it, it just automatically faces the direction the arrow is. I like, you'll notice, I build everything like a galley kitchen. I had a trailer that was really nice, because a galley kitchen is that everything is within a few steps of you. So what you'll see next is that I'll start building this direction rather than more out. I'll start building towards me rather than more out, because I don't like to have to run over there and then all the way over here to get the next thing, you know. Alright, alright, I think it's time to go down. Ooh, I will show you. I don't know why you have the option to turn it on and off. That always seems strange to me, because here's the thing. If I put ceramic on there, it won't do anything, because ceramic is already refined. It's clay that's been burned. So this is not drawing power while it turns. While it's on, it only draws power. Excuse me. Oh, I got home from work a couple hours ago. It only draws power when you actually put something on it, like that. And so it's just strange that it has an on and off button to me. Because if you don't put anything on it, it will never draw power. And that's going to take for freaking ever because of the power drain. But as you saw, I dropped that resource on the platform, and it pulled it immediately into the furnace. And so what I'm going to be doing is getting a couple more of these medium storages. Actually, I think I have to make one. No, I don't. I need more resin. And I'm going to be dropping them on here. I'm going to do the same with the organic, and you'll see that it'll pull it. No, that went there. I want to go to the platform. I'm going to just drop the dynamite onto the ground so that it doesn't accidentally... What are you doing? I'm not going to detonate. And you set it off. But I'll show you what that does. Ooh, no, wait. I need to take that because... they have exocaches, so when they updated the game, there were a couple really high-level things that they now require microchips for. I can't remember, exochips, or I might get hurt. No, okay. Exochips or something. I can't remember what they're called. But now you have to find, like, a briefcase and blow it up. And they show up as green on this little HUD, so, and it makes a noise usually, so. Tether. Where's a good way to go? You know what? Let's go this way. Oh, there's some sort of gaseous thing. Oh, don't you dare. Stop that. You pain in the butt. You know what? Get freaking popped. Hiss pin. There we go. Alright, and actually I'm going to pick that up. And I'm gonna see now, I'm gonna go back up and I'm gonna plant that. And last time I planted something that used to like shoot at me, it stopped when I planted it. It would no longer shoot at me. So I'm gonna see. We're gonna replant this and see if this stupid thing can do. Why is it shooting lightning or some such? Okay, well anyway, when I come back up, we'll see if it tries to gas me. I know that like these will continue to explode, but sometimes it goes to docile. It goes to a docile state, and that confuses me because you can't do anything with the plant unless you're doing excuse me, unless you're doing one of their timed events that needs blah 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 blah. But ooh, this is another way down. Okay, so I'm gonna drop another tether here. You know what? We're actually gonna make more tethers. Oh yeah, the other important thing is while you're attached to the tethers, you will pull power from your main network. If you're not attached to the tethers, your backpack regenerates incredibly slowly or not at all. I can't remember which. But so that's important to know too. If you're trying to get something done really desperately at your base, don't start building things with your backpack because it will fill your batteries before it does what you want it to. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. I just never seen a blue one before. And this is not necessarily a dead end. On the last game and most of the single player... Oh, okay, so what is this? In most of the single player games that I've played, we run into caverns and there's just debris everywhere. And there's these are like resource cache. Yeah, research unit. Insert appropriate research. So let me see which one. Do I have the wiki? Yeah, let me see which resource. Appropriate resource. It's not laterite, is it? Yeah, I think it's laterite. Yeah, I think that's laterite. Okay. And to tell you the honest, I'm just gonna leave that there so I can find it. Tell you the honest truth, I don't know if they pulled the actual names of the materials, like if laterite is real or not. I honestly don't know that. Ooh, what do we got here? So I am a function over aesthetic type of person. So I can tell you that firework is getting ground. I am putting that into a shredder because I'm not huge into, like, they've patterned this game so that you can actually kind of make mini games out of it. They've got goals and all these other things, like actual goals, goalposts and things like that, and you can actually play, you know, like mini games on the dang thing, and I'm not for that. Like, that's not me. I don't like playing games inside of games. I don't know why, but I've just never been. I play Minecraft a lot, and actually I have a server for that too, but I've never liked. Can we? Oh, good. Okay, right there's what we're looking for. I've never liked the idea of, like, some people have literally just created games and it's leafing and all that other stuff. And yeah, it's inventive, don't get me wrong. I think those people have really done a neat thing. But I I'm not, I don't like, what is this noise that this, what are you doing? I don't like playing games inside of games. I don't like mini games. There's a few exceptions to that, but, why are you jumping off of there like a damn lemming? But, for the most part, I play the original game, and then that's about my attention span. That's really what it is. That's my attention span. Okay, so another thing is if you hover over this, it'll tell you what it is. This is zinc. Okay, and we do need that. We will need that eventually. So I am going to do this. So we have zinc is important for something. I can't remember what it is, but so that's just you're not gonna see me set up a football stadium or a racing track or any of that other stuff. That's just not me. You're probably not seeing me actually do any of the timed events they have either, because there too I'm not a huge event person. Okay. Alright, so we are going to actually take from the ceiling as much as we can, so we'll continue to our ground that we are walking on. Later on, you get a one terrain alteration tool that I like that allows you to harvest without altering. And the auto harvester I was talking about actually does it without altering too. So it just thumps the ground. It really reminded me of the movie or the game more than anything, Dune, where they've got the ground thumping thing to call the worm Shaha, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember exactly. I know it, but I can't remember it right now. Okay, I don't know why. So what we're gonna try to do, I don't know why that one doesn't want to come with. We're gonna try to bury it, and there we go. Hey, that worked out really well. Sahadoo. No, Sahadoo was Lord of the Rings. I'm so sorry. What the heck were the worms? The worm's name. And Dunes. Oh, God. Demonetized, probably beaten up. Dang, I can't remember offhand the name of the worms from Dune, and I know they were something like that. And I've had all this information for years, and I'm just very tired. But yeah, so that's what they remind me of. The auto miner reminds me of the thing that you thump for the worms because of what it looks like and how it acts. And it comes down and it slowly goes thump, and then it's like a, I don't know, like a rubber gasket or something. Some sort of accordion thing goes up, and then you get the material in the material from the ground pops up. Okay, I am getting a lot of this because I think, let me double check. I think this is, yeah, aluminum. And aluminum is useful in a lot of different things, so I'm going to drop another tether right here to kind of remind us to go down there. But I want to get the soil thing up and running first. I'm going to grab this. It does slow us down, and as you can see, it blinds us towards where we're walking. So I do kind of, like, we can see, but the flashlight can't see. So if there's a pit, I'm going to walk right into the dang thing. But one benefit is that the ground distorts in color when you build it. So So you can kind of figure out your way out when you look and there's a hill and it's all gray. That's probably the way you came. Alright, we're going to put that in there and take a look. 565 resource points. And then, I did not get any resin. Deep, calming breaths. Okay, we're going to take a run to the mountainside again. I think we're going to take a run to the mountainside, because I do really want to keep those untouched, because that will produce an awful lot of resin. Oh, you know what? No. What I'll do is, instead of even using the mountainside stuff, I'll use the soil centrifuge, because that produces a lot of resin too. I think it produces 8 resin and 8 compound for, I have no place to put it, because deep, calming breaths, but, I think it produces... Alright, running in the mountain, getting enough resin to, Okay, so here's that plant. Oh, it's germinating a new plant still. Wow, that takes a long time. The pop coral, are pretty quick. And then the spitter thing was actually pretty quick, too. Oh, I'm out of tethers. Not a good thing to run out of. And then tethers reach a little bit farther than your backpack to a tether does. So you can see I'm standing, but when I put a tether down, it reaches. So that's good in certain cases. And when you pick it up, it'll show you whether or not it can tether to the next thing. That's also really good. This game has a lot of really good things going for it. I'm hoping that they do mod support. Like, officially do mod support. By the way, isn't it neat how they integrated, like, the stones in here? You didn't even know that was something that was non-destructible until you go over it, you know? But I do really hope they do mod support, because this game has so much potential. I've played a lot of games. One of the games that I played that I really loved was, hold on. This is Astroneer. It was Planet Explorer, I can't remember. It was a game, but it was abandoned. The developer just stopped doing anything with the game, called it good, wandered away, and the problem was, it was not finished. There were some things, like the game was finished, but there were like, 10 different types of creatures you could run into. There were bugs that were just perpetual. I was doing a skater thing. Bugs that were perpetual, and the developer just kind of walked away from it. And, hold on, I had the name of that too. I'm so sorry. It has been such a long day. I had to wake up early. On the Saturday I work at my job. I'm very lucky to have the job I do. But I'm looking at the name of that in case you're wondering. But the Saturday that I work, I normally work 2 to 10:30 at night. Planet Nomads, that was his name. But on the Saturday that I work at 9:30 in the morning. So I'm just pretty much dead to the world from start to finish. Oh, I guess I can't put the aluminum back. I thought I could. But that's okay. So we'll get you started on the centrifuge. How much is medium storage? That's 2. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so Planet Nomads. That was a fun game, and I loved, like, legit, if you had the power, you could make your whole base float. Like, they had hover, they called them hover pads, but they were actually like the tri-blades or dual blades that drones have. Excuse me. When I think of hover, I think of some sort of space age thing. Like, I don't think of blades. I don't think of a helicopter blade facing down, like in a little circle. I actually think of something that that propulses it off the ground through magic or magnetics or like a jetpack. I mean, I guess I don't think of the. But they might be right. That might be hover. I'm gonna check. We do have one viewer. Hello, viewer. I just alt-tabbed to check to check and see if anything was in the chat, but it does not look like it. Okay, so there's my soul centrifuge. I'm actually going to pick that up. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move. Hello, users in chat. One person's watching and everybody else is in chat. I don't even know how that works. Anyway, I'm going to pick these up, and then I'm actually going to take that off, and I'm going to put the centrifuge on. You can take these on and off the platforms. They can't work if they're not on a platform, but that's okay because all I needed it to do was do the aluminum for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, there's one, whoop, and there's number 2, and I'm going to fill this, and then I'm going to tell it to make me resin, because there's a bunch of things in resin I can do, and it will fill all 8 of those little things, and it's actually kind of neat to watch, so we'll do that. As it spins, it slowly makes the resin, and it simulates that spinning faster than your eyes can watch thing that happens, where when something spins fast enough it actually looks like it slows down, and I think that's a neat little thing added, but it actually like builds the resin right in there. So, and then when I make its own platform, I'll have 2 of these medium storages here, and it'll throw them automatically to the medium storage. Speaking of, whoops. That's what I wanted. You're what I wanted. I want you to build me a large platform B. No, not continue. And this all does take power, so that's why everything's being really slow right now, because we have research, which draws 2 a second. We have this, which draws, they didn't tell me. That draws 2, and this draws, maybe I'm just too close to it. No, maybe while it's working it just doesn't want to tell me. But, oh, there it is, draw 6. So right now we are trying to draw 10, and we are making 1. But the neat thing is, it will still let you try to do it. It will just slow everything down to the power. And I do really like that. I like to be barely able to do something rather than not able to do something. When I grab this first one, it will spin. That will probably be better. And then we will do a medium storage. They do have spots on top of them, and that's for the auto arms. The auto arms automatically put things on top like that. Refresh chat. I don't know if sure, why not? Oh, okay. That's just doing that then. Oh, we lost one of the people in chat. That's sad. I hope everybody else can hear me. Hear me all right. I've never really streamed on this. This is a new computer that I got. I saved up, and I would actually suggest doing this because I'm gonna drink real quick, or hydrate, as the with it crowd says. I saved up because I have a friend who builds computers. Put you there, put you back. He builds computers. But I don't have, like, the money. This computer costs about $1,500. Was that? Oh. Why, thank you, Random. That is awesome sauce. It did not show that over the game, but I did recognize what that was, I think, from some of the streams I watched. Random, I think it was 0226. Thank you very much for the, follow. But, so what I did is I basically just sent him, $50 every paycheck. And through PayPal, and I had him hold on to it. And then, ooh, my medium storage is ready. And then when we had enough, which, by the way, it would have been wonderful if people stopped hoarding GPUs. Like, can we stop that now? Because I'm just saying that is annoying as heck. But oh yeah, I figured Random that was you. Random is actually, I mentioned I had a Minecraft server. Random is actually one of the five arbiters that run that server, including myself. And it's called FOZ, Fields of Zen. I'm going to plug it because I can. And it's a server where we try to make everybody's gameplay fun, and we don't tolerate a lot of some of the issues that I've seen in the past. Whoops, I keep hitting that button. Not saying that other servers are bad, but like one is we have a multi-language server, multilingual server. I don't like the idea that the people only speak English. So in the end, we have one of our ambassadors that speaks Swedish, so that if we ever run into a situation that involves a Swedish player, we can simply ask him to translate. And that, whoops, why are you grabbing that? And that prevents us from having to use Google Translate, but we certainly will if we need to. I just didn't think speak English in chat is a very good rule. I think, I prefer speak whatever you want in chat. Like, we're not going to give everybody their own separate channel because they're speaking a language that we don't know. We'll simply Google Translate if we need to understand what it says. Alright, so I'm going to put you right here. And then, but yeah, Random is, actually, he's been an arbiter for a very long time. And I appreciate his follow. Although I don't... Oh, there he is. Okay, it took a little bit to refresh. There we go. Alright, so... excuse me. So now, basically what we need to do... Oh, we need to build another medium storage. I like to have medium storages on everything. What we're going to do is I'm going to go back down into the mines. Ooh, this is actually for US. And, can I build batteries yet? I don't think I can build batteries yet. Ooh. Oh, it put it there! What kind of insanity is that? I didn't know it could do that. It actually reached all the way over here and set it on there. Okay. So, basically what we're going to do is now go back into the mines. What's the next step? Let me bring up, I can bring up, because over here you've got your mission log. So, let's see what it says. Print a medium printer. Large platform B. Active retooling. This is the drill mod and the boost mod. Lights in the distance. Whoops. Yeah, let's class. Discover a gateway chamber. Okay. Actually, I am going to print a medium printer, and only because, I hate all that extra crap. Only because I don't have any compound lying around. That extra platform B would be wonderful. Woo! If you do this, by the way, on accident, too far, you will fall and die. And it is... it's kind of funny, I'm not going to lie. To just... And, I mean, you miss completely the platform, and you fall to your death. And you hit the ground so hard. And he just goes, woo, 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 and he spins in a circle, and then you have to go get your body. I've done that multiple times because, like, this isn't moon physics. I would have expected each planet to have their own gravity. I guess that's just weird of me. I know that would have been an astronomical undertaking. I'm going to try to find, but I would have expected each planet to kind of have its own kind of gravity physics so that you had a little change, when it came to that. But no, you don't. I don't know what you're doing, and I don't like it at all. This is one of those very dangerous situations. Are you looking at this? Because I am, and it's terrifying. Okay, so what we're going to do is go down the side wall here, just like we do on the old Minecraft. Only with a terrain alteration tool that is not nearly as nice and precise as the Minecraft pickaxe. Oh, good. Compound. Oh yeah, so I am going to build that medium printer, but only because the reward it gives you is another one of the platforms that have the large platform B. So that is worth it to just have a medium printer hanging. And actually what I'm going to end up doing is, look at all this compound, holy crap, and actually I can't hold anymore, is what it's telling me. Okay. Let me look real quick and see, whoops, that was the wrong button. See if we've got, oh, we do, okay. So this is saying there's one level below me, one level above me. And I'm right on top of the one that's one level above me. Okay, so let me go back up. And that's the exocache that you need. Cache? Yeah, cache. That you need the dynamite for. I keep wanting to call it a grenade. You know, it is a good thing I'm not monetizing this, because I'm sure calling my terraformer a gun and my dynamite a grenade is, oh, there it is right there, is, weapons, guns and weapons. Okay, and so this is the exocache. It's, I guarantee you YouTube's like, is he on a list? Oh, and then I see a lot more resources down there. I'm actually going to take this, whoops. You can't just hit the F button and grab onto these for some reason. I don't know if that was purposeful, if they wanted you to just blow them up where they were, but I am not going to do that. I'm going to literally carry it all the way up to my base, and it's because I don't normally do this. This is just tedious and ridiculous. But it's because I don't have room for the exo chips, because I just filled up on compound, and because I'm a hoarder, I can't drop the compound. That feels bad for me to drop anything. And Random can actually, Random can attest to that. My storage in Minecraft is filled with the most inane crap. Like, you know, I've got 50 chests of dirt, and it's whoops, and it's because I just can't help it. Can confirm. That's what Random said, can confirm. And that's the truth. And I acknowledge the ridiculousness. But I will also say I will probably not change. I mean, one of my other friends, Lolpro, who also, he's the Swedish ambassador, he shows up to my house in Minecraft. Okay, so now we're gonna detonate this, and we're gonna run away. Ooh-ah. See, there are those exo chips. And actually, well, anyway, I'll finish my story first. So Lopro will come to my house where he sees me standing and he'll just drop random crap on the floor. And it's because he knows I just can't help but pick it up and put it away. And on top of that, all of my chests, I always set it up so my chests auto sort because I can't stand just having things in random chests. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to build a medium printer, and dang it. And when I go to other planets, I will actually take this medium printer with me, because as I said, when it's packed like this, I can actually pick it up and keep it on my backpack. And so that allows me to take, I'll have a second level printer, and that will save 2 compound. I won't have to find 2 compound. Oh my gosh, how many missions are there? So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to drop it here. Excuse me. Here's a large platform B and 500 bytes. Refine aluminum. Unlock and print a smelting furnace. Like, can I just say done? No, of course I can't. Like, yeah, I finished that already. Print and connect small generator. Print and use research chat. I don't know if they, well, I mean, that is for new players. So I shouldn't come down on them for that. That is normally for new players. Obviously, you saw what I did. I just started blah, 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 blah. But that's because I know what I'm doing. So most new players would be waiting for the next thing. They wouldn't just, but that also means that, hey, guess what? I won't be completing some of those missions until I arrive at the next planet that I need to make this crap on. But actually, that's a benefit, and I'll say there's sometimes a benefit for that because, for instance, this soil centrifuge. Here's a perfect one. Unlock, print, and attach a boost mod and a drill mod. You don't have to attach them both at the same time, but it's very important to not do that until you're on another planet. So I can actually make those things, put them on, get this ready, but not say okay. And it's because a soil centrifuge is a medium-sized module, and your small rocket only holds 1. And so if you wait and accept that, if the module that you put on your rocket is a landing pad and you accept it at your location, you will get a soil centrifuge without having to take it or build it. And so that is kind of important to, what the hell am I putting here? Well, anyway, it is kind of important to wait in that particular case. The buttons. Oh, you mean Lopro and his buttons random? Yeah, the other thing, if it's what you're talking about. Random said the buttons. If it's what he's talking about, Lopro. So, Lopro and I have known each other for forever. And he has yet to run out of ways to mess with me. And I say that with love, of course. But oh, I'm picking you up. You're definitely coming with me. He has yet to run out of ways to mess with me, and one of the ways that he'll just show up and do trolley crap. Like, none of it's destructive, but all of it's annoying. And one of the things he did is he literally filled my entire house with buttons, my entire storage with buttons. There's just buttons on every possible surface he could put them on. And I had to go through and remove all of those because he's a little stinker, that kid. I've done things to him too, but yeah, he likes to show up and just cause chaos. That's kind of his thing. Alright, so what's the next thing? You know, oh, wait, that's right. We've got the ability to build, right there, a cutie printer. QT, I kind of like when they call it cutie, because it's... Okay, and ordinarily I wouldn't even waste the aluminum on this. Medium printer, is it through here, or is it through my... Okay, ordinarily I wouldn't waste aluminum in this way, because aluminum is harder to find than many things. Small printer, cutie printer, but, but, here we go. But here we go, that's... And I'm gonna put it on the back. Rotate it because, I forgot why I'm doing this. There was something I thought of. Oh, this way I can actually take a look. So to go through this stuff real quick, tethers are what you've seen me laying down. Oxygen filters, I wish they wouldn't have called them that. They are like an emergency oxygen thing. It will drain from them before it drains your oxygen. They're one-time use. Small canister is what I'm going to think. Small generator is what I'm going to make right now. Holy. Oh, is that quick. And the beacon shows up on your map. It shows these icons where you put it. Work light just illuminates an area, and then small printer, you know what that does. And the QT printer, I can use QT printers to print QT printers. And the whole world explodes as I divide by 0. Is that still a meme? Anyway, so they want me to connect it. Boop. Alright. And I did make that because inevitably you need... This comes with a small battery and it gives the schematic. Inevitably you need a small printer for something. You will always. Alright, and then how batteries, of course, work is that they fill up. This one's got 8 of these, and they fill up and they discharge. They have a storage rate and a discharge rate. And here it can store 32, but it only discharges 1 a second. So in order to compete with this solar panel, which produces 4 a second, you would have to have 4 batteries, because they would then, you know, produce the output. But that's alright. I'm gonna keep this attached because... Oh, holy crap. I just did another mission. Battery backup. Splitter. And schematics. Okay, and then it added eyes on lithium. Crafting large batteries will require lithium. Oh, excuse me. And usually, I don't hit all of the planets most of the time in the beginning. I think there's, they've got a goal for this, but one of the goals is that I'm going to want to hit every planet. Ooh, that blue thing in the distance, that is actually a gateway. Whoops, my mouse is going everywhere because I'm alt-tabbing here. That's actually a gateway. Which is what they were talking about when they say find a gateway. However, it's always a waste, so I'm actually probably going to build a tractor. That should be the next thing. Now I know what I'm doing. Oh, you know what? I should probably research a tractor. Most of that stuff is down at the bottom. Solid fuel jump jets, hoverboard. That's a mission completion thing. Excuse me. Okay. So rover seat and a tractor. A rover is a very good vehicle. Whoops, I think that's... Dang it, I keep it in the wrong box. The EXO request platform is part of the timed things that they do, which is why it costs very little for what it is. Where is my rover? Or not my rover, my, what the heck is it called? Give me a second. Portable oxygenator, oxygen tank, glow sticks. trying to find... Because I saw my tractor. Okay, so there's the rover seat. Where the heck is, where was it? It's got to be in the small printer, and I just missed it. All that stuff at the end, by the way, this cosmic bobble, stellar object, cubic, automaton 1 and 2, or whatever, that's all part of their timed event they've got going on right now. That's those blue things that you can see on the horizon everywhere. And the only thing I really use it for is an awful lot of scrap. Rover seat. Okay. Ben's just a doy-doy. So let's see. Oh, there it is right there, a buggy. Okay, so the buggy is a very quick and easy vehicle, and it costs an awful lot of bytes. We're gonna start off, I can't remember if the buggy was what you first started off with. We're gonna start with a tractor. So I've got to go around and collect enough research to get a tractor and trailer. And the reason is that a buggy only has 2 small attachment points at the top, and a tractor can pull trailers which have medium attachment points. So you can either put like one of these medium storages on it, or you can put larger items that you find, like this medium solar panel. So we are going to go to that wreckage here in the distance. We're going to take a look at that. I didn't see that initially. Whoa, we're not going to fall down the chasm. Dooby 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 dooby. Ooh. What's interesting is you can drive over... Did I already get this one? No. What are we doing here? Ordinarily... Debris. Huh. Ordinarily... Whoops. Let's go back over here to the tethers. Back up. Ordinarily, whenever you find debris... I might have already found this one. It's got something around it. Like, it isn't just debris, it's got... Oh, no, that's debris. It's got something of value. I might have already found that one, and I'm not going to bother collecting all the debris in the immediate area until I get a shredder. Because the shredder can... there we go. Because the shredder is the whole reason debris exists. So you can shred it into scrap and send that scrap to wherever. So, right now I'm going to carry this research. And then I'm going to throw it into the research thing. And that is 500 research, which is nice. And this is docile. Yeah, so I don't know... Like, but the problem is, even if you harvest it, all you get is a seed, and if you dig it up, all you get is a seed. So it's just kind of, unnecessary at this point to do anything with that. I'm sure it's part of something, you know. The pop coral ones, you always get like a research thing underneath them, or at least most of the times you do. So, what's interesting is you can walk through these bushes, and you can drive over them unless they have a research node in them. And they appear randomly. The research nodes, as far as I can tell, appear randomly. And then you can't drive over all of a sudden your buggy or your trailer comes to a screeching halt and you hit the bush. And it's jarring because you're not used to having a problem with those. Alright. Grab this. Excuse me again. And I think I can't remember how much the pop coral gives, so we'll take a look at that. I'm gonna grab this here. What do I have for... Oh, I do have 2 full already. So, As I said, it's very important to drop off full things, and now that there's a place for them to go, it'll drop them off, and then it's important to do that because if you're not, you don't have to use it for anything, but it does compound your soil centrifuge. I mean, it does compound, resin, organic, clay, quartz, graphite, and ammonia. Ammonium. Alright, not ammonia, ammonium. And here's the important thing. Quartz and ammonium combined together make hydrazine. And why that's important, you have to have a chemistry lab. Oh, I don't even have that unlocked. But why that's important is the normal booster that the rocket that you put underneath your rocket, the booster you put underneath your rocket to go to a different planet is initially a solid state, like 2-use rocket. You go up, you land on a planet, you go up again, you land on a planet, and I think it breaks off. Or you can do that 4 times and it breaks off, whatever the situation is. The hydrazine rocket can be refilled, and it lasts a very long time. Hydrazine lasts a very long time. So, being able to get quartz and ammonium on any planet with the soil centrifuge is very important, because that means you'll never be stranded. Compared to looking around, I haven't even seen ammonium. I don't know if it's usually at the top of mountains. That's normally where I find the damn crap, but I haven't even seen it. And so, looking around for that, I did see quartz while we were down here. I'll actually, you know what, I'll go down and get some quartz. Whee! Foop. I am surprised that I did not get hurt. I am pretty sure in real life I would have broken both my legs. It's just shattered. There would have been dust where my freaking legs used to be. Obviously, as you can see, it's very important to only do that sort of weird sliding when you are when you can see the end to your journey. Don't, like, I'd never slide down an unseen pit, because you are going to turn your femurs to dust. Whoops, as I do it. As I freaking do exactly what I said I wouldn't do. Yep, that sounds about right. Oh, what did I see down there? Oh, just something. Okay, we're going to continue our journey. The incredible journey, some might say. You know, that was a book title for those of you that still read. I don't. I'm just saying for the rest of you. Oh, crap. I keep forgetting. I almost... Okay, so we're going to drop this down here. I keep forgetting. It's very difficult for me to see... for me to recognize that the ground in front of me has a gap. Or has a drop-off. That's very hard for me to come to terms with, I guess. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't slide to your imminent death. Alright, and then we are going to do that. And we're going to drop another tether, and there we are. We are now on the next ground level. And this is all quartz, right? Oh, I saw something in the background. The wind puffing, and I swore I thought they had added moving enemies to the game. And I just about peed myself. Like, alright, do I have room for quartz? You know, I'm gonna do that. I legit just about had a damn heart attack when I thought that there was something gonna be stalking me here in a second. One of the only things that you can't get through the soil centrifuge is actually aluminum. So, ooh, I see something in the background. So whenever you find aluminum, it's good to, wow, that was not what I wanted to do. Or drop that crap all over the place. Why not? So it's good whenever you have the opportunity to actually pick up a lot of aluminum. I see, whoops, a bad moon rising, or also known as debris. And definitely look for debris, because debris can get, whoa. This is like, okay, so sometimes debris, there's a ton of debris in an area, like it's a camp. So, and then I'm going to dig that out. We're going to see, that's carbon, because that is what a medium generator looks like when broken. And medium generators produce a lot, but they require carbon. They produce a lot of energy, but they require carbon. And then this is set up as if it was a campsite, so... Oh, there is zinc. And there is some more zinc. Oh no, that's aluminum. Okay, well, what we are going to do... I'm going to drop quartz, and I'm going to pick up zinc, because I forgot that near the entrance there was that research container that would pop open with zinc. Or aluminum. Don't mind me. I know words. Me words goodly. But, so we are going to go find it. Because I believe... Oh, I believe it's... No, it's not that direction. You're going to see me get lost in these caves all the damn time, by the way. That's just, like... That's another thing that Random could attest to, is that my sense of direction is just horrendous in games. I just run into walls in my own house in Minecraft and everything else. Whoops, I'm going up. See? I'm going out the exit. The one time I'm not looking for the exit and I find it. And it's crazy, I know, because you're literally just following tethers. So you've literally set a breadcrumb trail for yourself. But I just can't. I just look at it and go, dirt. And I'm just unable as that. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what did we get? You always get debris. And what in the heck is that? Well, whatever it is. We got it. It's a research sample, so it's research. Now I gotta find the exit. It's a research sample, but it's supposed to have more research points than the natural ones. Whenever you open those, you get a research thing. If you ever, by the way, are going uphill in this game, and you're going up the slow hill that's really steep, the easiest thing to do is move left and right, and it will, okay, so, oh, this is a hold to scan one. 1,300 points. That's very important. And actually, I'm glad I didn't scan it, or else I'd get less than that. Okay. That will be enough to buy the trailer. And then I need a little bit more to research the trailer, and I need a little bit more to research the tractor. Now, in this game, most vehicles, in fact, all vehicles, let me not say most, all vehicles come with the ability to tether to them. So they have an oxygenator in them But in order to attach them to a tether network, you need to actually provide them with a with a real oxygenator. Otherwise, you can't tether. You can just go near them and it'll connect you. But I don't plan on going distances from it. Like, I'm not just gonna wander around. I'm gonna take it with me. So, to me, it's not that big of a problem. Later in the game, when you have the auto miner going, if it's out of range of your base a little bit, the best thing to do is actually park an unneeded vehicle next to it, and that way you can run up to it, gather the resources, and the vehicle will refill your oxygen, and then you don't have to tether all the way to wherever you're moving it. You can move it and then move the vehicle next to it, and there you go. As long as you can get to it without dying of suffocation, you don't have to worry, and then you'll refill when you get there. So this is the first thruster. It's a solid fuel thruster. It's capable of 4 launches, so that's not a lot. It uses, ammonium and aluminum to make. So you're using aluminum constantly making those damn things. Those dang things, sorry. Keeping it PG here. Let's see here. Ceramic. Sorry, I was just checking the... Okay, does this come from... I always hit the wrong button. And obviously... quartz makes glass, but I don't want to put all my quartz into glass, because quartz makes hydrazine, and that is equally as important, if not more so. Whoops, I still have a quartz on here. If not more so, I'm going to keep that with me. That was... There we go. And you can see the difference between a medium storage and a medium slot, is that I can only fit 2 of these on a medium slot, but if I put a medium storage, I could fit 8. So when it comes to single attachment things, it is always better to have a medium storage. Alright, let's see what the sucker needs to make tractor. 2 aluminum. There's 1. Guess we're going back down into the mines. Here we go. Happy, happy mine time. Woohoo! Oh, I still didn't get hurt. I'm truly surprised. Okay, and down here, I love how he flails his hands initially. Oh, that time, did you see that red around my screen? He didn't like that. I love the fact that he flails his hands. It's hysterical. Okay, and so this is where the aluminum was. Let me see if there's more. Laterite. Yeah, there's more around here somewhere. It gives you a general idea that there's more. Like, when I went down here, it switched to zinc. When here, it's nothing. But when I'm up here, which makes me think, yep, there she is. It's right near the surface. Oh, crap. I didn't want to lose my whole tether. Are you kidding me? I'll dig right into the ground. Okay, and then what we'll do, let's do this. I do really love the terraforming in this game. I think that it is some of the best terraforming that I've ever done. And part of it is because everything makes an angle, and so if you find an angle you like, when you hit the control button, it will copy that angle all the way down. And I think that that's really a neat thing, because then you can find, as you've seen me do, you can make ramps very easily for the angles that you like. Is this underneath my walkway too? to do the same. Oh, there's more. These around here. Oh, up here. This one. This is a fun game. And actually, this is one of the few games that I enjoy being underground. And it's one of the few games that my friend Lowpro does not enjoy being underground. Like, when, whoa, that is steep as crap. When, we played this game together. And see, we've just disconnected that entire network. There we go. This is the angle we want. And then, stop it. We're gonna drop another tether. We're gonna drop another tether. And there we are. We reconnect everything. When we were playing, he let me do all the underground digging, which is unusual because normally mining is his thing. But for some reason, this particular game, he didn't like the underground. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, he wasn't fond of it. So, in the end, I did all the mining, and actually, what I'd like to do, maybe I'll actually look at doing that with this game, with this adventure, is I would actually like to pick a planet and actually build underground, you know, and actually build a shelter, drop a shelter underneath the earth and actually build underground, because I do like that. I don't know why, it's just calming to me to be underground, and probably because as I said, I know that there isn't anything other than plants that are out to get you. But whatever the reason, I'm gonna grab that zinc while I'm here. Move out of the way. I'm gonna grab that zinc, and then I'm gonna grab my quartz. How much did I get? I only got, okay, so I got 2 aluminum. I need to find more aluminum. Is that a drop, or is that... I need to drop more tethers. None of this is aluminum. That's not aluminum either. I'm gonna keep going in this direction then, I guess. I'm gonna push these because they're just too many and too big. And I just don't like being near them. And yeah, the cave systems here, I like the fact that they are usually cavernous like this. They're not tight corners. I don't like, or not tight corners. They're not, you know what I'm talking about. They're not claustrophobic. The ceiling doesn't feel like it's constantly falling in on you. Oh, by the way, if you pick up that debris and you put it, if you hold shift and click on it, then it stacks inside your inventory so that it can stack up to 5 pieces. So each piece of small debris is not taking up your inventory, which is also a good thing that they did. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. Which is also a good thing that they did. And that means that you can take more home. Dang it. I feel like I'm dropping tethers like a madman. I am, but I feel like I am too. More tethers. And we found resin cave. We found the caves of resin. Let's just getting down to them. And then here's, wow, that is a lot of resin. As I said, aluminum's the only thing that you can't produce. So I'm going to be ignoring all of this. I'm trying to find resin. The one thing that I would like someone to make a mod of, or the devs to actually look into. So you've got something called a probe scanner, and it apparently looks for actual real-world excuse me, probes that we've launched to other planets. So it'll search for the Viking one or whatever it is. Okay, I can't remember what half the probes are called that we've sent to other planets, but it'll look for a bunch of things. It'll look for a bunch of actual probes, real world probes we've sent out, and I can't remember what. Though I'm hearing somebody bubble. Oh, there you are. Dig, baby, dig. There we go. But what I would like to see. What I would like is actually a mineral finder, so that. There's a power cell. So that when I'm searching for minerals, oh, that's nice. That's zinc. I can actually like bring up the thing and hit it and have it like show me a general. It doesn't even have to be exact. Just show me a general of where a mineral might be located. Because we could search this cave for 3 days and we might only find the stuff that's sitting here. Like, there's no guarantee that it's anywhere near me. But it's on every planet, so. Alright, I'm gonna head back. Oh, that's a large platform B. Hey, guess who's gonna be carrying a platform with him the whole way? This guy. Who's got 2 thumbs and is going to be carrying a fully functional platform with them for the entire journey? This guy. Wait, let me see if I can... what is this? Refill internal. Okay, so this is a power cell that's just sitting there. So what we're going to do is before we carry this back all the way, I'm going to see if I can utilize this power cell. Oh, it's got a broken port. Oh, it's got 3 broken ports. I may actually not. Let me see. I may actually not take this because it's got 3 broken ports, and where they don't, you can see the absence. And I don't think I like that, because I normally connect from the back. Now I can actually use it for power. No, backpack full. Hey, that's what you think. Oh. You know what? We're dropping a tether right here. No, actually, I'm going to go a little bit farther down the journey, and then I'm going to drop my last tether. There we go. Now the bottoms of these disappear after a little bit. So you can't grind them, which is kind of unfortunate, but they will disappear. You can always grind the top, which gives a significant amount of scrap. Okay. If I had graphite, I could make a packager, but that ends up being, and see, a packager repackages it into what it comes from the, oh, this isn't too bad, actually. That's ridiculous. Repackages it into what it comes from the printer. I don't know if that would actually repair it. There's an interesting little experiment we're going to do. I'm going to, first I'm going to research its debris, but that does actually have... It's interesting that it calls this, and yet it's missing these. Because normally, like, okay, so this one is a medium B platform, but you see that it's got one available, and it's got all 4 legs and everything else, but calls it debris. And normally it doesn't. Normally it does the same thing that this one did. Could you please stop getting in my way? Okay, that noise is creepy. Normally it doesn't. Normally it does the same thing as this, where it calls it that, but it's just missing a bunch of plugs. So I'm interested that that's called debris, and then this one's special. Oh, I hope that's not a big hole. Okay. Is this functioning too? No. Let me check these. I should... What are you doing here? Oh, no, 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 no. What is going on here? How did I miss this? No, don't doot me, sir. And or madam. Zinc is not as important. Actually, compound is completely not as important. But now I need to find something that takes... There we go. Something else. That's an extra way to store things, by the way. If you switch your backpack to something you could normally make, the material will automatically go into the grid. And so in order to be made, so that's a good way to store something extra. Does this have any? No. See, this has none, and it's broken. Okay. I'm going to repack this. And I'm going to see... I know this is ridiculous. I'm thinking it too. Especially going straight up this hill with it. But doggone it. We've come too far. Are you kidding me? What is that? That's good to know that I can build on the walls when I move down here. That is, I have never seen that before. I've only seen it do this clumpy clump thing that it's doing. I've never seen it stick to the walls. That is just obscene. It can stick to the ceiling. I have no words for that. I have no words for that. That's just, I might as well bring the power thing with it. That's just, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. This, apparently, we're on a planet that defies basic physics. It's nice that I can stick it to the pathway ahead, though. Okay. I just realized now I've never taken one of these out of a cave system. So that's why I had no idea that they can stick to walls and ceilings and... Oh. Damn these things. Dang them to heck. And I'm going to be coming back through here 40 times. So what I'm going to do... Just this. And 2. Well, should get rid of the tethers on accident, though. There we go. Oops. I hit wrong buttons lots. There. Alright. There we go again. Almost there. Don't be sticking to the random piece of dirt that's in my way, please. Thank you. What just happened? What in the actual heck just happened here? Whoops. Sorry about the confusion and wobbliness. I am concerned that my platform just vanished. Alright, let's come back down here. This is where it got stuck. We're gonna dig out a little bit. I'll be very sad if I carried that all the way up here to have it disappear into the atmosphere. I know there are some bugs. There have been people mentioning that there are some bugs, so I guess we won't be able to test that unless it's down here. Did it go underneath? Oh, I see it. Okay, little scamp. Nice try. Oh, I thought it did it again. I was about to cry. Like, stop teleporting to random locations. You're not making my life easier. Okay, so up the stairs. Up the stairs. Well, up the path. No, stop that. I don't want to have to come back down and get you again. Fall. Thank you. Okay. And here we are. So what we're going to do is we are going to move this over here. And this is the side that has the plug, right? Okay, so we are going to spin you just like this. And we are going to grab a plug just like that. Oh, that was very loud. I'm sorry. Just like that. Alright, and now this has become part of our power. And, excuse me, again. As soon as we get a packager, I'm going to see if we can package it. And if, since it's named, it's actually named what it is, I'm going to see if that repairs it, which would be exciting as all heck. I forgot my inventory is full of a bunch of things that need to be burnt. Smelted is the actual term, but burnt is fine. And one of the only things, I think the only material that has a non-smelted use is quartz. As far as I know, you can smelt everything else. Quartz is the only thing that has a use for just quartz. Most of the thing, like it's got a beacon, and I think there's one on the same. Just letting you know, I think after I make this, tractor. Oh, good, I completed something. Oops. Okay, why did I keep it? I think after I make this tractor, I am gonna go to bed. Because I'm starting to have a little bit of a headache. And part of it, I get motion sick from these games a lot sometimes. And especially when it's dark like this, it gets me a little bit of a headache. So, tractor. But what I want to do is before I do any of that, I want to, what am I coming over here for? Oh yeah, put this right there. Resource sample. Interesting. Before, but I do want to, I want to get that, and so I want to show you guys how the vehicles work, because the vehicles are a lot of fun in this game because they're just wonky as heck, and it's just lovely. They bounce around and everything else, and so it's a lot of fun. What is this? I'm just checking chat right now while we wait for wait for that to build. And I will be... I don't know if this shows me streaming on YouTube. I connected it to YouTube, but I don't know how that works. But I'll be uploading. I want to record and upload every episode that I stream, because I get frustrated if I find a streamer I like and they're in the middle of a game and they haven't recorded the previous. A game like this, there are 9 planets, I think, that I have to go to, so if you just saw me one day at a different planet and I just had everything, like, it would be like, oh good, I'm coming into the movie in the middle, essentially, or in this case, the series. So, alright, we are looking at smelting hot, medium storage. That's what it gives, so absolutely we will take that, because over here we've kind of impromptu turned my gosh, how many more missions? Kind of impromptu turn this area, and actually I can put this here into like a little storage. So here's another thing I don't quite understand. This can collapse or expand, and that ability is wonderful when it comes to certain things and certain uses, but they're very small and far and in between. So I've never understood why it had the ability to do that. It just seemed strange to me, and I know it has something to do with you can trigger it with certain things, so I'm sure it has some minigame potential or something, but I just don't understand it. It's a neat little feature, though, don't get me wrong. Small canister. Alright, trailer. We are 300 bytes off from being able to, this has got 430 to go, so there we go. That's one of the first things you can do, a packer. 1,000, yeah, I'm not going to do that right now because that's... Okay, so, tractor. So that is what a tractor looks like. That's interesting that it shows one spot and a seat. But you can't take the seat off. Huh, interesting. I wonder, oh, you know, I think in one of the original versions, you had to build the rover seat and put it on there or something like that, or you had to build the tractor seat. Alright, so while we're waiting for that, it's very important. Let me take a look, see what our energy options are. It's very important that you equip something on the front of this sucker. I am going to spend the 300, and I am going to get a wind turbine. Ordinarily, you get that by now by searching wreckage and everything else. They usually have a small solar or whatever. But it's very important you equip something. Right now, you can see that the battery is empty, and it will not go anywhere. And if I could attach it to my base, but if I'm driving it and it runs out of battery and I don't have a way to recharge it, I am just SOL. And you can't pick these up. The vehicles are one thing. You can pick, I'm not even kidding you, you can pick your interplanetary shuttle up, and you can move it around your base. I have walked with it to the location I wanted to build my base on another planet because it provides you oxygen, but you can't pick up a tractor. I don't know. I have no idea. But it is very important that you build some sort of energy thing, and that's built through the backpack, or in this case, my little ceramic. Okay, I need ceramic. Or in this case, my little cutie printer. So, ceramic. Is that one of the things I picked up? No, zinc is one of the things I picked up. Wait, yeah, there's ceramic. I thought I picked it up. I have a pretty good memory I have a pretty good memory for things that I've done, and this is what a small... And it comes, it's another, like, the generator comes with its own base. This comes with its own base. You can actually pick it up, and then while you're walking, if you do something that drains energy, it can refill it if the weather is blah, 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 blah. You will intermittently have wind, and so it won't be long periods without wind, so you can do that. And then, excuse me. And then you just wait for the wind to kick up, and it'll power that up. Ooh, can I make a small battery, actually? I think that takes zinc, because that would... Yep, see? This takes low power when moving, which means that, well, it means that I don't think it drains power when it moves. I think it does drain power when it's towing something, or it's because the wind is blowing that it is draining power. Ooh. This thing is kind of fun to drive. Alright, so that dunk noise you heard was our research thing getting done. So let's see if we can do the trailers yet. No, that, well, that's a medium rover. I'm in the wrong one. Okay, so that's okay, because we do have that, research thing. Ooh. And these, I'm guessing they're best to put in there because they had like 1,200. Oh, word of advice. Always space out your things because you can get blocked by these when you walk up to them. So if you put them right next to each other, it'll stop you from going through. We are just waiting for a little bit longer. Let me see. What does that take? Compound and aluminum. And I don't think we have any compound. So that is what I'm going to make this make. I just love watching. They did a really good job. In the very beginning, there were a lot of things that were different. I don't even remember because I haven't played from the beginning. But I know, like, the research thing that I just put in, that looked very different. And I know the thing that housed it, that you can power like I did, and the top pops off, the eco, that looked incredibly different. That looked just like a boxy cube. And then, but I don't remember most of it. I have to set up a place for storage. I usually like my storage to be within range of my printers. Later on, you're actually able to make extra large bases, and then you can actually have auto arms grab storage items and throw them in there. But I never get that far into it. I don't mind grabbing the resources myself from storage. What is kind of fun is when you get a larger base like than this one, you can get medium canisters that you fill with soil by putting drill arms on your dang tractor or whatever, and then you put little soil containers like the ones on my arm. You put little soil containers over here, and then you set the soil to auto thing, and it'll suck the container in, fill it, drop it off. That container will then go to the machine, fill it, drop off, and then repeat the process until the machine is full and all the soil canisters are full. It's kind of fun to watch. By the end, I need one of these as a double wide so I can have two of these, because the amount of soil you end up going through is impressive. So we are just kind of waiting on research. Oh, well, look at that, we're there. Oh, it's doing 153 a sec. Holy crap. Okay. So, badoot. There is that. That's the trailer, and I think I need one of these. No, I need, I think I can pull a maximum of 4. Well, let's go, then, I guess. Does this make the trailer, or is it the medium printer that makes a trailer? Or, trailer. No, this is this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do that. I don't know if it'll take it automatically from me every time. We'll see. We just going to make some trailers now. One thing that happened that was kind of funny is the upgraded trailer is not named a trailer. It's called a rover, and it's massive. But there's a very important distinction. The rover, you can put a seat on it and drive it. The trailer, you cannot, because you can see how small it is. Well, when I was moving my base the last game that I played, oh, it did take it from me. When I was moving my base the last game that I played, I had this huge rover, and I'm dragging behind 3 of these tiny little trailers, and I was like, I feel like I remember seeing like a bigger. I'm gonna just do 3, I think. Oh no, I'll do 4. Why not? I remember seeing a bigger train of these. The rover can pull something bigger, but I couldn't find what was supposed to be called like a large trailer. And then it occurred to me that the rover is in itself a trailer or a vehicle. Whoops, I'm going to turn that off. So in the end, what happened was I had moved half my base, a medium trailer at a time. Okay, so we're going to grab these. Boop. And then, because I forgot that the rover is called a rover and not a trailer, for some reason. And I think this thing can take 4. We're going to see. We got to get them kind of close together, or else they can't tether. We're going to see if it can take 4 or 3. I can't remember what the number is. But if it can only take 3, well then I'm just dragging one of these out of the way, I guess. Alrighty. Attach. Oh, that's right, I forgot they start doing funky things like that. Okay, so first, attach. Attach. Then attach. No, hold on. Choo-choo. All aboard the train of pain. The pain train. No, okay, it must be 3, because it isn't letting me attach these. But I bet you when I unattach that, yeah, so it's 3. That's okay. Because you know what we've almost got? We have almost got a packer. Or a packager. And that is actually, pretty good to have. So, what I'm going to do, now we choo-choo. And now it's got its own oxygen supply, so when I hop off of there, and it's, what's interesting, so the attachment points idea is really funny, because even in a situation like, okay, so this is a big rock, guess what? On the bottom of this big rock, it's got 2 attachment points, like, and if the rock flips, you can actually see them. So it's kind of like a funny situation where you've got a piece of a plant, and it's got 2 medium slots on the bottom of it, and you're like, Oh, here's our gateway. Ooh, and there's a big pit. Alright, thankfully we can drive over trees and things. And kicked up, so there we go. But you can't drive over resources. You will actually, be stopped. Oh, that's an interesting... Those are some pretty precise holes. Okay, so I think as soon as I get out of this, it's considered discovering. Yep, there we go. And so these gateways, what happens is you provide power to this spot, you know, that's got a standard power cable. You provide power to it, and it will actually open the gateway, and that allows you to teleport between gateways. Oh, look, there's a packager right there. And that'll allow you to teleport between gateways. However, you do not like have your vehicle with you when you teleport. You don't you end up teleporting with nothing. So it's important to remember that when you come out the other side. Oh, I forgot that these are this. Okay, I was gonna carry, like I was gonna take a bunch and carry them, but I forgot that those. Oh yeah, well, that's why I brought the trailers. You too. But yeah, it's important that you will just appear at the other gateway. Now, it doesn't cost anything, and you can teleport between them as many times as you want. So when you show up, if you haven't built some sort of temporary base, you won't just starve to death. You can just go back to the one you came from. But that is important to know, that you will now be on foot unless you have the portable oxygenator that's in your backpack. You will not have it. Like, you will not have anything. And so yeah, Planet Nomads, yeah, they did the same thing. And I helicoptered over there, and then when I got back, because it did require power, theirs required power. When I got back, my helicopter had run out of fuel and just kind of landed in a high radiation zone. And so I just died because I couldn't get to my helicopter fast enough. So this is a packager, and this is what it does. Boop. And now, there you go, little box trailer. And I will actually bring that with me and put it over here. And I can either take it with me to another planet, or I can grind it. Or move it and grind it. Okay, so what's moving and hauling? Oh good, I get another trailer. You know what? I'm not going to collect that one, because that'll be like... Whoops. What's this now? Because then I'll get another trailer on some planet. Alright, and then I will grab these. As I said, the toys are really only good for grinding for me, because I don't... If you wanna, you can get some interesting things from their... Oh good, and that's done in time for me to put this in it. You can get some interesting things from their time challenges, but they're mostly cosmetic, if I remember correctly. Or one of them, like the last one, if you found a plant that you could put other seeds into and whatever, and it could give you a pumpkin house. And the pumpkin house is basically like a shelter. There's like a field shelter, which is a smaller version of one of those. A smaller version of shelter. So, I mean, you know, it's not worthless, but it's just not for me. I'm not huge into... We'll see what they come up with next, though. But I am going to save and quit. Can I just rename this? Oh, good. I'm going to do enter save name. I'm going to say single player stream to differentiate it for myself, because I'm old and I have a bad memory. Right after I said that I had a pretty good one. There we go. And then I am going to save and quit. Boop. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'm kind of intermittent, but only because my work schedule is like, I work an awful lot. So 2:30 to 10 every day. When I get home, sometimes I do feel like streaming. Other times I usually have to go to bed like right at midnight, so I generally I'm frantically doing the things that I need to do before I go to bed. So, but but thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Hopefully, I don't know when that'll be though. I'm sorry. Okay, edit your replays. And then, oh, checks complete. No issues found. Next. Disability. Next. Public. Publish. Upload video. File. Oh, I'm still recording. Whoopsie.